Adeola never imagined her life would intersect with the wealthy, the powerful, and the dangerous. Born and raised in Mushin, Lagos, her days were filled with noise from danfos, smoky suya sound, and the cries of traders in the open market. She was a survivor, a young woman in her late 20s, hardworking and resilient. With dreams she kept buried because survival was more urgent than ambition. When she got a job as a cleaner in the mansion of Mr. Kingsley, she thought her prayers had been answered. Mr. Kingsley was one of those men who seemed larger than life, a self-made billionaire. His face often appeared in glossy magazines, his presence requested at elite business conferences, and his lifestyle whispered about in the salons of Victoria Island. Despite all the wealth and power, he lived alone in the vast estate in Ikoyi. No wife, no children, no family seen around. People found it strange, but wealth like his often carried mysteries. Adeola came into his world quietly, broom and mop in hand. At first, it was just another job, cleaning the marble floors that glistened like water, dusting the chandeliers that looked like frozen rain, scrubbing bedrooms that smelled of imported soap. She was grateful for the paycheck and the chance to send money home to her younger siblings in school. But the longer she stayed, the more she began to notice things that were in the mansion. They were not as ordinary as they appeared. Every Thursday night, Mr. Kingsley returned home very late. His convoy of SUVs would slip through the gates, but instead of retiring to his bedroom or study, he went to a locked underground room. Adeola had once followed the faint scent of his footsteps and heard whispers, chants, and the smell of burning incense drifting from below. One night, curiosity tugged too strongly at her. She lingered after her shift, pretending to tidy up, and when she crept near the forbidden room, she heard noises. Then silence. Not many, just his voice, chanting in a low Yoruba language as if in a trance. Then a sound that froze her blood. A scream, sharp, desperate, and then cut short. Adeola fled before she could think, her mop bucket nearly tipping. That night, she could not sleep. What had she heard? She heard scream. Week turns into months. The whispers in the town grew louder. People gossiped about Mr. Kingsley's wealth. Every young man who received financial help from him ended up ruined, either bankrupt, insane, or dead. A widow he sponsored had collapsed mysteriously days later. A business partner who signed a deal with him had vanished, his body later found by the lagoon. But in the newspapers, Mr. Kingsley was celebrated. Philanthropist of the year, man of the vision, Nigeria's pride. Adeola began to piece things together. She noticed a pattern of strange objects whenever she cleaned. Bowls with chalk marks left carelessly in the study, drops of candle wax in places no candle should be, red stains on white clothes that doesn't look like wine. She once found a bracelet belonging to a woman she knew had died mysteriously weeks after being helped by Mr. Kingsley. The more she saw, the more her fear grew. One Friday afternoon, Mr. Kingsley was out on business. Adeola entered the forbidden underground room for the first time. She had stolen the duplicate key the chief security left unattended, her heart pounding. She descended the narrow stairs into the basement. What she saw almost made her faint. The room was dark, but lined with strange symbols on the walls. There was a table stained with something dark, robes coiled on the floor, and pictures of people pinned to the wall. People Adeola recognized from the news: the widow, the businessman, the graduate. The center was a large black bowl filled with congealed something that smelled of blood. Surrounded by burning candles, she stumbled back, her throat dry, nearly screaming. But what froze her most was a single photo lying face up. Her own. Adeola's picture, taken secretly while she was cleaning the house weeks earlier, lay there with her name written in a chalk behind it. That night, Mr. Kingsley came home early. Adeola was still shaking, trying to act normal, but he noticed his eyes, sharp, calculating, lingered on her longer than usual. "Are you all right, Adeola?" he asked smoothly, his deep voice like velvet hiding knives. "Yes, sir, I'm fine," she whispered, lowering her gaze. But she wasn't fine. She knew too much. The following week, Mr. Kingsley invited her into his study for the first time. He poured her a glass of wine, smiling warmly, speaking about how loyal she had been, how much he valued her service. He even hinted at helping her family, offering to pay her siblings' school fees. But Adeola saw the trap. She had seen the names of others who had been helped. She knew what it meant. When she declined politely, his face smile faded for the first time. His eyes darkened. "You don't refuse me, Adeola," he said quietly. That night, she couldn't sleep. She packed her things in secret, but the gates of the mansions were always locked, guarded, and she knew if she ran, they would cut her. One stormy night, while cleaning, Adeola overheard Mr. Kingsley on the phone. He mentioned her name. Yes, tomorrow night she's ready. Blood ran cold. He was planning to use her. Desperation gave her courage. She found an alley in the most unlikely place. Kunle, the young driver who had always been kind to her. She confessed everything she had seen. At first, he refused to believe her. But when she described the basement in details, his face turned pale. He admitted he had once seen strange rituals himself, but kept quiet for the fear of losing his job. Together, they planned her escape. The next evening, as the rain poured over Lagos, Kunle smuggled her out in the boot of his car. The guards at the gate barely looked. After all, who checks a driver's car boots? By the time Mr. Kingsley entered the basement for his ritual, Adeola was miles away, heading towards the bus park. News spread weeks later. Mr. Kingsley was found dead in his mansion, slumped over his shrine alone. His fortune began to vanish as government agencies swooped in. His entire empire crumbled. Some said his gods turned on him. Others said Adeola's escape had broken the circle of blood sacrifices. Adeola, meanwhile, started a new life. She found refuge in another city, walking quietly, grateful to be alive. At night, she prayed often, tears in her eyes, whispering, "Lord, thank you for saving me." Her story became a cautionary tale, whispered among cleaners, drivers, and cooks who served the powerful. If you live in a mansion built on blood, you better watch your back. And so, Adeola survived, carrying scars no one could see, but also a strength no one could steal. She never sought fame or fortune, only peace. And for the first time, she had it. Kindly subscribe to the channel, like and comment. Thank you and see you in the next one.